How's it going? It's all the news all the time, and we got a little story here from Rotten Tomatoes about Thor: Love and Thunder. And I think the headline here is 70%, which is not great. It's not a great score, got to be honest. But you've got to remember that's the critic score. The audience score hasn't come in yet. But 70 isn't looking good. That's 221 reviews. Still, it's still meant to be certified fresh, whatever that means. But it's not great, to be honest. Let's have a little look at some of these ratings. What we got here: Richard Lawson, Vanity Fair. The studio stumbled into what may be the worst film yet in its long line of spectaculars. An erratic and fatally dull morass of limp jokes and aimless plotting. Well, say what you think. Most of Thor: Love and Thunder is a mess, pleased with itself and tonally everywhere. As bad as one of the better Pirates of the Caribbean movies, but that's still pretty horrible, says Mick LaSalle of the San Francisco Chronicle. Some good stuff. Love and Thunder has a goofy streak a mile wide, as if Waititi is letting us know he's fully aware of the ridiculousness of a bunch of muscle-E actors running around in Halloween costumes. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's people are a bit tired of cartoony films. I mean, what is this, the 39th Marvel film in a row? People are a little bit like, oh my god, more people jumping around smashing stuff with CG. Mightily uneven. This is a positive review, but mightily uneven, she said. Matt Singer says. We got Nell Minow. It's so much fun and often genially goofy. That's twice it's been called goofy. Two words that don't usually apply to superhero movies. That might be the problem as well. That it is satisfyingly entertaining, she says. Satisfyingly entertaining. So, I mean, she's comfortable with it. She gives it a B+. Over here, I mean, these rating systems are weird. This one up here, Chris Hewitt gives 3 out of 4. Matt Singer gives it 6 out of 10. Nell gives it B+. I mean, we've got 2 out of 4 over here. This one's give 5 bananas. They've got like 6 stars and a strawberry. I mean, what's the system around here? Let's have a look down here. Thor: Love and Thunder is as flawed in its logic as the myths it's based on. The actual myths are quite interesting. If you get a chance to read them, the actual original Norse myths, they're quite fun. But like them, it nevertheless makes a good bedtime story. C, not great. Audience scores, audience reviews are not in. Let's have a little look more at these reviews. Normally these reviews come in and it goes down a little bit as well. Richard Lawson, we looked into that one. Superb god-level nonsense, says Luis Martinez of El Mundo. So he's loving it. 3 out of 5 isn't loving it. So god level isn't reflected in the score, to be honest. Bale is phenomenal in this opening and thereafter, but it's a bit like if Heath Ledger's Joker was never allowed to ask someone how he got his scars. 3 out of 5. So it's not great. It's not great at all. But that's the question. Is it to do with the critics are going to have a different viewpoint from the general public? Because that's often the case. You might say, well, these people are professional reviewers. They have degrees in film studies. They understand film and its context and its structure, the 3-act structure of a film, story arcs. They understand all this. And the general public are just gormless fools stuffing popcorn in their face, just desperate to be entertained and kept occupied for a couple of hours. So this is a different viewpoint that people are having from the intelligentsia of the critiques versus the chewing cudless masses shuffling and knuckle dragging their way to the seats. So is it the difference between the two things, or is there something else at play here? I mean, these people, Nick L. Haj and Sergio Lopez Aguirre and Tom Santil, they have websites, they have businesses or newspapers or magazines that are supported by the industry giving them early access. They gain subscribers, they gain viewers, they sell newspapers, they sell products because they have early access, because they can put reviews out. So there's a almost a pressure for them to give positive reviews. They're given access early, they're taken to these theatres, they're shown around, they're given speeches by the producers, they're given free popcorn and patted on the back. It's quite difficult to do that and still be objective. And you might say, well, that's their job, to be objective and to be impartial. But they also know that if they're not generous, then the companies, these are multi-million-pound films, the companies will say, well, Tom Santilli of Movie Show News, perhaps we're not going to offer you a seat at the early show next time because you haven't scratched our back when we scratched your back. I mean, maybe that's... And even that is the question, why are the results so low? If we're saying, well, there's a bias towards being positive in a film, so why are these films... why are these results so poor? It's an interesting question, I've got to say. It's an interesting question. If we look at the Marvel films in order, starting up here, Captain America, First Avenger in 2011, 79%. We've got in 2000, are we in order? Chronological order, yeah. Captain America First Avenger 2011, 79%. Captain Marvel 79%. Iron Man 94%, very popular, people liked Iron Man. Iron Man 2, not so good at all. Incredible Hulk, very poor, 67%, dropping down. Thor 2011, one of the most popular Thor films, 77%. Marvel's The Avenger 91%, very popular, everyone liked it. Thor Dark World, very disliked, notoriously disliked. Iron Man 3, 79%, not great. Captain America 90%, so quite popular. Guardians of the Galaxy, very popular. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, maintaining that level of popularity. Avengers dropping. Ant-Man, well, it's very good. Captain America 90%, Black Widow 79%, in the middle of a pandemic, excellent work. Spider-Man Homecoming, very popular. Black Panther, through the roof. People loving Black Panther. Doctor Strange, 89%, still very solid. Ragnarok, 93%, people loving it. Ant-Man, 87%. Avengers, 85%. Avengers Endgame, 94%. Loki, 92%, people are loving this stuff. What If, 94%. Wonder Vision, 91%. Shang-Chi, 91%. Falcon and Winter Soldier, people loving that one, 83%. Spider-Man, too many of these. Far From Home, No Way Home, Somewhere Home, In the Home, Round the Home, 90%, 93%. Eternals, they did not like that. 47%. That went down like a bag of cold sick, that one. 47%. Hawkeye, very good. I mean, 92%. So it bounced back. So it isn't just, it just descends and goes down and that's it. It's bounced back with Hawkeye 92%. Moon Knight, very popular, 86%. Doctor Strange, 74%. And now we've got Love and Thunder, but only at 70%. So I don't know where we're going with this. Are people just bored of superhero movies? Have they killed off too many of the characters people used to really like? Have they missed Iron Man and Captain America? Have they killed them off too early? Have they left us with some characters that are not strong enough and not developed enough, and yet they've killed off the characters that were beloved? So they haven't replaced them with what they needed to before they've killed off the very, very popular characters. And so now we're looking at almost a joke movie, a cartoony joke of a movie. Well, I'm not sure where we go with that one. So I mean, some reviews down here, too silly to take seriously. There's still a lot to love about Thor, but unlike Thor Ragnarok, it's unlikely to be a movie you'll fall in love with. Marvel Studios may be developing a quantity over quality issue. 39 movies in, you might be right. Josh Wilding of comicbookmovie.com. Thor Love and Thunder is queerest MCU movie. Is that the problem? Is it some of these modern issues that have brought up? What does Neil Miller? We've looked at that one. What about Akira Horror? Thor: Love and Thunder suffers from narrative gaps, wild tonal imbalances, weightlessness. More importantly, it underutilizes nearly every actor and character at its disposal. Is it all comedy and CGI that people are bored with? Too many of these behind the scenes that people are just, if you've seen that it's all green screen and you've seen it's all fake, then you lose that sense of risk, of reality, of drama and danger. If you know it's all just cartoons and computer generated nonsense. Allegedly wild and wacky, but ultimately disappointing and disjointed chapter in the ongoing story of the God of Thunder, who seems to get more clueless with each passing movie. Is that one of the issues as well? They're dumbing him down, making him into some sort of pastiche of what he was and what he could be. I mean, there's popular stuff. Let's look for a strong review. Can we find like a high? Eric, free, he loves it. A rollicking, hard-rocking slab of pure, unadulterated entertainment. So is that what they're trying to sell, this just sheer noise, 80s, explosions, go there with popcorn, never mind about it? Is this going to be really popular with the general public like myself, who just want to go and stare at explosions and bright colours for a couple of hours, to take our minds away from the endless grind and the inevitable call of the grave? Is that what it's about? Just endless sort of and mindless entertainment? Thor: Love and Thunder begins with a graceful homage to the Tree of Life and ends with a tear-jerking climax that could have been written by Nicholas Sparks. It's a gratifyingly weird film, but it isn't good. That's quite funny. And then all this poetic stuff, but it's not good. 2 out of 4. Bunch of kids came up with superhero story ideas, and they went along with it. So let me know in the comments what you think. Are you going to go and see it? It's out now in the cinema, so you could go down there and see all the shenanigans for yourself. I hear there's goats, which is appropriate because in the original Norse saga there was goats and they pulled the chariot around. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I will catch you guys on the next one.